Happy New Year, everyone! Here is the 2024 recap of Mermaid Elora's adventure series. I can't believe I've been doing this for a few years now. It's so crazy. I feel like I just started. We had an excellent summer this year. Unlike last year where it rained a ton. This year was just great. It was just so gorgeous. So we went mermaiding just about every day. We got to take advantage of the good weather, which means we went to some old favorite swimming holes as well as some new ones. Always try to check out some new places. So it's an adventure for myself and Keith, but also an adventure for you guys as well. You know, check out some new places here in New England. Great summer for mermaiding. I've been thrown a curveball recently, but we won't get into that. That's more mundane life, but mermaiding was wonderful. So yeah, that's what we'll touch on. So yeah, pretty spectacular mermaiding season. So let's dive in. Basically, in this recap, I'll be showing some pictures and some of my favorite clips over the year, most of which you may have seen before, but there will be some sneak peeks of some upcoming footage. I just don't want to give too much away. So, we have so much wild footage of mermaids from the summer. I haven't even gotten halfway through all of it when making videos, so there will be little teasers throughout of what's coming to YouTube soon. We'll start with the epics. Let's start with the epic spring hopping adventure that Mermaid Eloona and I went on, which I'm sure you all know about, because that's what's been taking over my YouTube channel currently. We went swimming almost every day. Each spring has its own unique personality, and we treasured every moment to be able to explore them and their beauty and all their quirks as well. We'll start with Juniper, since that's the first spring we visited. Juniper Springs is a gorgeous little spring that is, if you go early in the off season, like I once did years ago, it's a deeper blue and it gives off like oasis vibes. And the deeper blue kind of makes it unique from some of the other springs, which are a bit brighter. However, when we went, it was crowded and all stirred up. You don't see the people in the video. Did a good job kind of working around them. But trust me, it was super crowded, and it's just a tiny little spring. So it's not as clear as it could have been, you know, if we went in the off season or, you know, went right when they opened. Anyways, we visited the rest of the springs right when they open, after visiting Juniper. So we kind of learned from Juniper also has all sorts of little fish. I think they might be little platies or mollies. I'm not sure. But it definitely makes you feel like you're swimming in a little aquarium, especially the way they kind of dart around like butterflies. It's just the sweetest thing. There's also apparently eels there too. But we didn't see any. I imagine they were pretty hidden because, like I said, it was the spring is like a pool almost, and there was so many people there, you know, snorkeling and enjoying their day as they should. But that's probably why the eels were probably hiding. They also, Juniper also has. We didn't do this. I did years ago, but Juniper has some epic kayaking trails too, if you're into that sort of thing. And next stop was Ginny, which is Eloona's favorite and one of mine too. It's a flippin' mermaid's paradise. You can't go wrong with Ginny Springs. It doesn't look real. There is a reason I have 4 videos of Ginny right now. It's just so varied. There are caverns to explore, the gnarly, twisty roots look like something out of a fairy tale forest but underwater. Then the water is flippin' rad itself. The tannins in the river make it sort of like a tea color, and then it clashes with the blues and the greens of the springs, and it creates this tie-dyed effect. It's unreal. Um, Not all, but much of my footage of Ginny Springs is raw and unedited. Water is really that spectacular. The next three spots had an insane amount of wildlife, but again, still had their own unique personalities. I'm not sharing much of that in this here, only because, like I said, that's upcoming new footage, so I'll just do little sneak peeks. Alexander was just sparkling in the pale morning light. That's probably what's going to be next. Um, and there was just so many fish, plus a few turtles that were hidden. That could be a challenge maybe in some of the later videos to see if you can spot the turtles in Alexander. Alexander is also super open and deep with rolling fields of eelgrass and other plants. It provides the space to do all sorts of tricks and just fly. Feel free to move in any direction, which is one of my favorite parts of mermaiding in deeper waters. Just the freedom of flight you get. It's wonderful. And there will be probably lots of videos of Alexander as well, like Ginny. We Alexander, we literally filmed until the cameras died. So there will probably be like 4 videos of Alexander as well. So hopefully you don't get sick of that. But I mean, it's just how I'm probably going to end up editing it, just because we got so much magical footage. So it'll probably be several videos of Alexander. Now, Jurassic Springs was particularly special to me. It was a bit cloudy and not as clear as some other places, almost gloomy and mysterious vibes because of the overcast. However, it was my first time swimming with a giant school of fish like that. I felt like Hannah Fraser. Heck, I felt like some of my drawings when I was a little girl. I'm a little teary-eyed remembering it. Just to be able to swim as a mermaid with a giant school of mullet was a dream come true. I know it's a strange dream, but it was a first for me, and I'll treasure it always. I just felt one with Mother Nature in that moment, in my element, if you will. Um, other spots other spots recommended for wildlife was Salt Springs. Salt Springs is great for kids. Salt Springs doesn't get very deep, but does have all sorts of cracks that if you look down into them, you can see all sorts of fish species and beautiful big blue crabs. Um, their, their bright blue color is absolutely stunning. And turtles too, if you're lucky. Salt Springs was flippin' gorgeous. It was my first time visiting Salt Springs, so I'll treasure that as well. And it just knocked it out of the park clarity-wise. And speaking of clarity, the clearest spring we went to was the last one we visited. It was the Rainbow River spring head. We visited the designated swim area in the state park, and it's so crystal clear. No shallow areas, so if you're not a confident swimmer, keep that in mind. It's another spot where we could just dance and fly underwater because of the decent depth. Our tails really shimmered here. I can't wait to share that with you. They were just sparkling like gems. Yeah, I'm gushing over it. Also, I mean, if you're into this sort of thing, Rainbow River, not the designated swim area, but Rainbow River in general, is an excellent place to scuba dive. I went on a drift dive years ago, and that was just awesome. So if you're a scuba diver and you're in Florida, check out some of the scuba diving tours for Rainbow River. What else? Oh, we also visited the one place that wasn't a spring. We went to Jupiter, Florida, which is known for its wildlife. We visited 2 locations in one day there. We went to, I think, if I'm saying this correctly, DuBois State Park. And the water was so salty there that we had a hard time seeing. I've swam in the ocean before, and this is by far the saltiest ocean I've ever swam in. But I will say the mangroves were absolutely beautiful and made for such a unique photo shoot. It felt really like I felt like a wild mermaid. So yeah, so cool. There's also, you don't see it in the footage, but there's like these teeny little crabs climbing all over the mangroves as well, which is really neat. And we got to see a couple sea turtles there too, so that's always a plus. Actually, three. Oh, and not part of Juboy State Park, but if you really want to check out some mangroves too, Paladisi Island has some really cool kayaking trails. You can kayak through mangroves there. Just a little tip for you if you're in Florida. And then the other place we went to in Jupiter was more of a local place called Katos Bridge. Again, if I'm saying that right. Sorry if I'm not. And that place um, was beautiful, had tons of wildlife, but I'm the only one that went in. So there's not a ton of videos of me actually swimming in them because I'm the one behind the camera in that footage. The current was so strong that we're kind of getting like sucked towards the bridge, and because the current was so strong, it made it not good for filming mermaids because it's hard to pose if you're getting pushed towards a bridge. You know what I mean? So that footage was mainly just for the wildlife. So I went behind the camera and then I went diving to get some little clips of all the pretty fishies so you guys could see. So yeah, just I like to be honest with you guys. Like that's part of travel is and part of Mother Nature is sometimes you don't always know what you're going into. So sometimes you just make the best of the situation. So may not have gotten any mermaid footage really at Katos Bridge, but we got tons of great fish footage. So yeah, still a cool place to check out. A crazy run through on our Florida trip. Florida spring hopping adventure. So wild. Can't wait to go through more of the footage. I just get so excited looking at it. I can't believe that that's me. I can't. It makes me like I can't believe that's me swimming in that beautiful water, and I also can't believe that like not just swimming in that beautiful water, but like being able to see all this wonderful wildlife too. I always wanted to be a wildlife filmmaker when I was a kid. So for a paleontologist, I love I love that subject matter. I'm a super nature nerd. So just being able to share the water with them and also share this adventure with, you know, one of my best friends was like truly a treat. It's definitely a highlight. And being able to share my passion with my fiance as well. He's a huge nature lover too, and to be able to share my passion with myth, fantasy, and exploration of the wonders of the real and natural world uh, fills me up with such joy and inspiration. Anytime we stop for a rest to warm up in the sun, because trust me, the springs feel cold in July. Um, it's 90 to 100 degrees above water, and the springs stay 72 year round, so it feels chilly. They're much more tolerable in the spring and fall, just to let you know. But anyways, anytime we went to sun ourselves, like mermaids do, um, he would keep on trucking, filming all the wildlife, purely because he loves it just as much as I do. Um, I just, I really loved watching him snorkel and explore. Yeah, it was great. Yeah, I'll treasure that always. And of course, I got to see my mom down there, and she got to come with us too. So that was super fun. Um, I got to see her and some of the horses, and it was really nice to see her. I miss her. So, hi, Mom. See if you're watching. So, and my mom went out with us too a couple of times to watch us do our thing. She watched us. She also went with us to the springs, and we actually visited Mer Taylor's mermaid experience together. So yeah, it's one thing I forgot to mention. We got to check out Taylor's aquarium, and that was super cute. I definitely recommend it if you have kids. Like, it was just a really nice, well-appointed little aquarium, and the mermaid show was really adorable. So, yeah, if you have little kids, yeah, go check out the Taylor experience. Um, or if you're, crazy mermaid enthusiast like us. Note I want to say for this summer, we did lots of swimming and lots of fun photo shoots. Like, I went to my favorite pond, and this time we went to the other side of the pond and got to swim with these giant boulders, which kind of remind me of trolls. That footage will be coming later in the year. I can't wait to share that with you. I might sneak in a couple pictures of that here and there. Sneak peeks. And then another huge highlight, we also did a Maine mermaid meetup this year. I had the pleasure of meeting some really cool ladies who are also mermaids. I didn't realize how many mermaids were actually in Maine, though Maine is a much bigger state than it looks on a map, so it's pretty sparse. That's why I might try to do 2 mermaid meetups next summer, but no guarantees. If we're lucky, though, I might try to do one in Maine and then one in New Hampshire or close to it, just because it's hard for some folks to drive so far. But yeah, anyways, mermaids at the meetup were myself, Mermaid Elora, Eloona, who you've seen in a ton of my videos by now, my sea sister, if you will, Mermaid Scotty, who is the mermaid in the white tail, um, kind of northern goddess vibes. Brooke, who is in the brightly colored teal and orange tail. I don't know if she has a mermaid name, but I'll link her Insta. Um, I'll link all their Instas in the description below if you'd like to give them a follow. Um, then there was Mermaid Eclipse in tail colors similar to mine with blues and purples. And Mermaid Lavinia, the Wells Beach mermaid, who had a leafy green tail. Um, Wicked fun swimming in a pod like this. I went to a mermaid meetup in Rhode Island a couple of times in the pool, which was fun, but this was my first time swimming as wild mermaids in a lake with a bunch of other folks. So, in the middle of in in a lake in the middle of Maine, and on such a beautiful day, you can't beat that. Even if the visibility wasn't great, we just had such a wonderful summer splash. So, thank you for joining me, Magical Mermaids. It was a lot to go through. I didn't want to give away too much footage, so there's some sneak peeks here and there, but yeah, you'll see more of some of the crazy places we've been. I want to wish you all a very happy new year, and I want to, again, thank Keith for following me around and taking my wonderful photos. Oh, speaking of photos, we got to do a photo shoot too with a local photographer who's getting into underwater photography, and he's amazing. I'm going to post his info down below. So, yeah, if you're curious about any underwater photographers in the New Hampshire area, check that link out. I'll put it in the description. But yeah, I want to thank Keith for being so supportive of me and in my adventures, and also of my recent scenario. Yeah. So big shout out to him. Big shout out for Eloona for going with me on this wild mermaid adventure that we went on. So also thanks to her husband, Brian. He also, he was so supportive, and he, took a ton of footage of myself and Eloona, and he's the one who got the majority of the footage of the sea turtles and stuff. He was very supportive. Both him and Keith are excellent wranglers. We wouldn't be able to do any of this without him, so I really want to thank both Brian and Keith for taking such good care of us mermaids. They are, the backbone of all this, and I know they don't they're the ones behind the cameras, so you never get to see them, but they're there, 100% along with us. So, yeah, a big shout out to both Brian and Keith. And I couldn't be more thankful to meet more fabulous merladies. So, um, yeah, so anywho, I'm gonna wish you a very happy new year and let's hope 2025 rocks. All right, let's dive in. Hi everyone. I almost forgot as well. I did just set up one of those buy me a coffee / tip websites to potentially help fund this channel. So if you're interested in leaving a little tip, that's very appreciated. The support, is really helpful. I may not keep it. We'll see. I would just figured I would give it a shot. So yeah, the link will be in the description below. Thank you.